Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with round 7 of WOR. Yes, apologies, I unfortunately could not race last week in this series, but we're back today here in Le Castellet for the French Grand Prix. We've crossed over the halfway stage of the championship and there is still a lot to play for in this season. Currently, we're sat P5 overall in the championship standings. MEJ is... well, it's a case of when rather than if he wraps up the title there on 137 points. Barney in P2 on 77, and then we've got Nail in P3 on 67. We've then got Talentless just in front of me on 58. I'm still on 48, currently tied with Risks there for P5 in the championship. I'll make sure I put the spreadsheet up on your screens as well. I know you guys have been asking for it, but fingers crossed Le Castellet can be a track that suits me here this evening. Haven't been able to do a lot of practice. Of course, I was running in the Mercedes iRacing challenge earlier on today. This thing handles quite differently to the F1 car over there, so it's going to be fun making the switch. Right, let's see if it's raining then here at Le Castellet. It seems to be how I start pretty much all of these videos once I've done the intro. Just waiting on Demi to get loaded up. There are 19 cars in this lobby. 18 cars in this lobby there, and looks like it's dry all weekend, which is always nice. So let's get the setup on the car. Then trying to run, of course, a bit more aggressively now. For those of you that have watched the LCR video that we did last weekend, of course, you'll know that I have now got new pedals, so I'm able to run more aggressive setups on F122. So this is going to be the setup that I'm running this week. I have brought the wings down a bit lower than I ran in practice, but yeah, we'll see what we can do. Thanks, Mark. I have only been racing for the better part of a decade. I'm sure I still don't know that. Right, let's go then for my first lap here from Le Castellet. Of course, last time out at the Hungaroring didn't really have the race I wanted. France has in the past been a track that I have very much enjoyed in league racing, so we'll see if that means I've got any better picks today. Of the final corner, just trying to be careful on the throttle. Adrian, very, very quick time of 1:30.9. We go half a second away on a 1:31.4. There were a few mistakes, though, on that lap, so I definitely think we can get closer and into those 1:30s. Well, we have been relegated down to P5 then as we get ready to start my second run, but MEJ is not on pole at the moment. I cannot believe it, ladies and gentlemen. Risks currently fastest on a 1:30.5. So there is still a big old gap to the top 4 after our first run, but like I said, I know there is plenty more time to find. No! No, 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 no! Right at the end of my lap, I've just gone and looped it around. That is well and truly heartbreaking. May as well try and get out of the way. I'm back into the pit lane there. Just got catastrophic oversteer through the final couple of corners, and that just completely sent us round. We weren't up by much. Definitely can get into the 1:30s. Right, let's do this thing then. Final qualifying lap here from Le Castellet. There's a massive gaggle of cars from about 5th down to myself that are all covered by just a couple of tenths, so we need to try and get this one hooked up. Let's try and do this thing. Come on, man. I know I'm a bit rusty. I'm still getting used to the new pedals. I'm intrigued to see how long I can use that excuse for, but I've got to try and get one lap hooked up. And that is not going to be that lap. Damn it. Just looped it round at turn 1 there. Tried to take a bit too much on the throttle. And that is our qualifying session done and dusted there. Only got the one run in early on, and it was not particularly great. Right, well, there we are then, having a look at the end of qualifying there. Risks on pole by 0.4 of a second over his teammate Adrian. Their MEJ will start behind the Red Bulls. Jonah, I think they're new in P4, but I mean, yeah, really from myself all the way up to Matt's in P5, there is all still to play for today. We've just got to try and keep scoring consistent points, but by far and away my worst qualifying session of the year. Doesn't bode well for race pace. Let's get into this thing though. Ready, here in France. Right, here we are then. Starting on the hard tyres. I've almost forgot again that there's no formation lap here in WOR. It's such a pain being in leagues with different rules. But let's do this thing though. Concentrate at the start. Try and get a good clean run. Look at that. On pedals that work. I don't lose a place on the run down towards turn 1. You love to see it. How will we make it through the first corner though? Just going to try and send it around the outside and sort of see where I end up there. Oh, come on. Got to be so careful over that curb in there. It's side by side with Manny down in towards the next corner. Just try and keep the nose up the inside. Looks like the Haas is desyncing quite horrendously. I don't know what's going on there. That is rather scary. I have no idea what has gone on there. On that one, seems like more cars have collected each other as well. There's another car spinning. It's chaos here in the Castellane. Somehow I'm up to P9 then early on, and we got a virtual safety car almost immediately then. I'm surprised that hasn't changed into a full safety car. That's been rather chaotic there. A lot of desync, a lot of connection issues, I think. But somehow we've come out of it, I think, clean? I think. What on earth is that guy doing? Eh? Oh, he's desynced. Oh, dearie me, that is not helpful. We've almost just been... What? It's given him the place!
You need to give that place back, I'm afraid. That was an illegal.
What on earth is that? He's just desynced through me, gained a place, and I'm going to lose like 3 seconds off the delta. I cannot believe that. Welcome to F1 22, ladies and gentlemen. That has just completely ruined me early on. I mean, this track is so important to make sure you're in the DRS of the car in front. And I've lost, yeah, 3 seconds to him. Well, I've already taken a lot of time back out of Manny then at the moment, but in doing so I've actually used quite a lot of ERS. Make sure I'm back within the range. We've got yellow flags out. I think there's a car behind me though having issues. Jordan, I think, has gone around again as Crispy has already picked up a 3-second time. Obviously Jordan's gone, so not too sure what's happened, but yeah, we've now got to try and get around Manny then, I think, in this race. There, as you can see, top cars trading fastest lap. Are we going to be able to get a run out of the final corner on the Alpine? I think we'll have to wait for the Mistral straight again, to be honest.
You're in the top 10 now. Keep it up.
Or we won't. I don't know how that works. What on earth is going on with this lobby? Oh, and there we go. Nail's gone round. I'll take the freebie, thank you very much. I'm at a P7 then we go in this race, but how much will Manny take out of me because of the DRS? A couple of tenths, but don't think we're going to be under too much pressure still. Let's just try and close up to Trap Paulos. I think is the Ferrari up next. Well, the gaps behind me are definitely getting bigger, but sadly so are most of the gaps in front. Between Trap and I staying pretty level. But yeah, we just, of course, that top group just carrying each other along with the DRS is making things rather difficult for me at the moment. Gap under 3 seconds now to the Ferrari. What I could really do with is just a safety car to bring me back to those cars, because I think I could match them if I'm in the range. More yellow flags out. I think that's another car behind me that's gone around. I think that's Mats who's looped it. Yeah, the gap between Paulos and myself just keeps going up and down at the moment, so not really gaining anything, but not losing much in the grand scheme of things either. It's just the top group that I'm really dropping back from. I think we've just got to save some ERS though right up until my pit stop. I just, yeah, burning through more and more every lap. Sit rep then as we come to the end of lap 10. This race is really boring at the moment. We're just not really doing a lot. I'm no really quicker than Trap in front. I'm pulling out time over the cars behind. Neil has spiced it up slightly by pitting. But yeah, unless I can take another couple of seconds out of Trap, which is going to take a long old time because we seem to be so even on pace. Just nothing's happening. It's so weird.
Our gap to the car in front is 2.9 seconds.
As soon as I say that, I knew I should have kept my mouth shut. Oh, that's frustrating. Well, that's going to push us a bit closer to Manny and Nail then. Trap, enjoy your P6, my friend.
Okay, clear.
Yellow flags out again. Someone else squad issues. Looks like Barn is spanning the mark. Unlikely error from him. Getting close now to the pit window though, to cross over half distance. But yeah, Trap's still pulling away. Adrian, I think, disconnected, so he's dropping back slightly, but we're just pulling away again ahead of Manny. There we go. Adrian, MEJ, and a handful of others into the pit lane then. Looks like it's just the Haas and Risks that have opted to stay out. I'm going to go one lap longer. I may as well. Tyres still feel semi-okay. May as well put myself in a decent position for a lap or two. Why not? Treat myself. Imagine what it'd be like to be fighting at the front. Or, even better than that, imagine what it'd be like to be on the podium. We aren't going to try and get in the way of these cars though, so I'll probably box in at the end of this one. Right, heading into the pit lane though at the end of this lap. MEJ is going to be very, very close as I make my way in. Make sure I remember to slow down. It's 37 miles an hour around here, not the normal 50. Into the pits we'll go then. Adrian, Trap, and myself. MEJ will retake the lead, but I think Risks is within 1 second of him. So that is still a battle that is going to rage on right to the very end. I actually had a look on the standings. MEJ didn't win last week in Portimao, so clearly he's washed up. It's only a matter of time before we lose the lead in the championship. I don't know why my teammates pit at the same time, but hopefully he doesn't get too held up. Who's this coming back out? It's Nail! Oh no, we might have a battle on our hands. I don't know if he's going to the end or whether he's got a pit again, but he's ahead of me. Let's go hunt down one of my big rivals. Well, that's a really stupid way to pick up a warning. Too busy looking at my MFD. I think that's taken me up to 2. It was not helpful. I really do want to try and avoid getting a penalty today. Right, well, depending what happens with Nail and how much time Barney takes out of me late on in the afternoon, I am tipped to the pit onto a fresh set of softs with just 2 laps to go and try and claim fastest lap bonus point here. If Nail doesn't pit though, of course I'm not going to go for it. There's no point losing 2 points, just trying to gain 1. Looks like Risks has rejumped MEJ at the front of the field though. But yeah, I mean, if Nail doesn't pit, then I'm definitely not going to. But hopefully I'm going to get back past him soon. That Williams must be struggling on those mediums. Been on them for a very long time. Nail is definitely struggling on that set of tyres there. You can just see not able to get the car anywhere near where he wants it at the moment as we put a load of rubber down into the tarmac out of the final corner. He's still going to try and use all of his straight line speed there to the inside. But I don't really think it's a battle either of us want to get too involved with, so we will just slot by. We've got to try and get out of the DRS window though, that's the other problem. Maybe it would have been worth waiting until we get round to the back straight. Wait and see though if he can get a run back on me. Let's thread our way through the next couple of corners, just go full attack mode through here. See if we can just open up any sort of gap over him. Of course, should be, able to get much better traction, things like that. Just see out into the back straight. We've only opened up half a second. I don't really want to use much battery unless I have to here. Is Nail going to get the run back on me as we head down the straight? No, he is not. So we will hang on to the position for now then. That's incredibly close and risky when I'm on 2 warnings. But yeah, Trap Palace though, I mean, I've spoke about the potential battle with him. You know, maybe things would have been slightly different had I not spammed, but he has continued just to open up that gap ever so slightly. Perhaps I would have pushed a bit more had I needed to, but yeah, doing well still up there. Something's happened to Nail. He's lost the place to Barney late on in the day, and I could have pit. I could have had me soft tyres. Why, mate? Couldn't you have done that a couple of laps earlier or something, I beg? But anyway, finally, onto the final lap we go here from the Castellet. And I tell you what, often I've said this game provides good racing round here, unlike the thing that we often got in TV. But after this race, maybe I'm not going to miss the Castellet so much in Formula 1 games. Obviously, yeah, it's the mistake I made, to be honest. I don't really think the grand scheme of things has made much of a difference. Maybe I would have kept with Trap, obviously courtesy of his 3-second penalty, but I don't think I would have actually had the pace to pressure him anyway. So honestly, P7 is kind of just what I've been confined to this afternoon. Quite happy that as long as I don't do anything on this final lap, that I haven't picked up a 3-second time penalty. One of the very, very few cars to have done so by the looks of it. most cars around me with some penalties at some point or another of the afternoon. But yeah, just a shame, obviously, all the connection errors early on in the race. There's Jonah's binned it on the final lap. No! He's going to lose his podium and drop back down in towards the clutches of Trap. And I think that was Adrian who's just got the jump on him. So heartbreak for the AlphaTauri late on in the day there. Looks like Nail, I think he actually got a puncture, I'm guessing, because he's had to pit again. MEJ, are we surprised? No, not really. Another win for him. Fantastic job once again to our Super Swede in this league. But ran in the final few corners. I'm going to survive the French Grand Prix there. Adrian, 12 seconds worth of penalties. That is good going in a 50% race there. Ran in the final corner. No penalties for your boy. I will take that rather happily. And I tell you what, for quite a snooze fest, happy we made it to the checkered flag. If you stuck around throughout the entirety of that, then hats off to you. Yeah, I almost fell asleep on a couple of occasions during that race. But MEJ then takes the win, near enough 4 seconds ahead of Risks. Adrian does recover to a podium there, ahead of Trap. Jonah ahead of Adrian, myself there with Barney finishing. I suppose Manny in 9th ahead of Mats. Speedy, my teammate there, will just miss out on points in 11th unless there's penalties to be had. Yes, Speedy gets a couple of points for Alfa Romeo as well there, so GG's to him, and even Ivo just sneaks inside the top 10 there when all is said and done. But thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we will be back very, very soon with more F1 League racing action, hopefully with a bit more excitement than that race had.